everyone, and welcome to Thursdays at 3. Jason Crespin here, your host for today. It is April 11th. Happy April 11th to everyone. Hope everyone is having a great day. I'm substituting for Miss Annika, who's out of town today. Don't adjust your channels. It's not like the Telemundo version of Thursdays at 3. It's back to old school Thursdays at 3 with this mug of a face. So glad you guys are all hopefully having a great day. Let me know if you're watching. Let me know, type below, all that good stuff. Oh, and I don't remember who's who. Hello, Teddy Cat. Yo, not you, yo, Teddy Cat. I don't know who you are, but yo, so exciting. Teddy Cat, let me know who you are. I feel like Delilah on the radio, but like, hey, listeners, let me know if you're watching. Uh, Obviously, we want to let you guys know so many great things happening at the Amarillo Little Theater this week, and it's a show day. It's an opening of a show, which is always the best days here at ALT. We have some great guests today to talk about Sense and Sensibility. Before we get to them, I want to make sure you're aware of everything going on at ALT. Annika has it all scripted out for me, so I can just be an actor today and read what she's written for me. We wanted to first say congrats once again to the cast and crew and the production team of The Little Mermaid. They celebrated this past week, Friday, in fact, with their big kind of cast party. That's a fun little photo there of Academy Director Harrison Stringer with, of course, Music Director Brandon Beller and Assistant Director there of Crystal Burns. Not everyone could be there for the cast party, but I heard it was an awesome cast party. Like, what they all went all out. We have to give special shout out to Deanna Hurt. She was in charge of setting it all up with the Academy parents. Look at this cake, y'all. I got pictures of this cake. I was out of town on Friday. I was like, what mermaid is getting married at the Little Theater? Because that is definitely a cake fit for a princess. Shout out again to Deanna Hurt and the Ruffled Cup. And I put in my little text thread with our staff, like, y'all better save me a piece of cake. No, there's no cake saved. It was gone, but that's okay. I probably don't need cake, but look at that beautiful cake. I mean, congrats, good job. But yes, again, huge congrats to the Little Mermaid. Gosh, it was such a great show. They did an excellent job. And I'm sure, as you all know, Sense and Sensibility, we added a performance. That's right. It opens today, and of course, runs for 2 weekends. And we added, because you guys were awesome, you helped sell it out last week, and it sold out so quickly. And our cast, crew, amazing production team, they were all able to add a Saturday matinee this coming Saturday. Y'all, that's basically sold out as well. I'm pretty sure. Like, it's insane. You cannot wait to see the show. We cannot wait to see it either. It's going to be so excited. So for some reason, if you did not get your tickets to Sense and Sensibility and you're like, how do I see this show? It's my favorite book. You got to either, one, call the box office and get on a wait list. If any tickets, which some tickets have had to reshuffle in the past couple of days. So some people from the wait list have been called over the past 2 days and have gotten in. Get on a wait list for a show. They'll call you by 5 o'clock if that show is available. And then the best thing to do, honestly, is just show up 30 minutes before the show starts. That's when the box office will open over at the Adventure Space. So today at 7:30, it's when the show is. So show up at 7 o'clock. Get on the standby list. Hang out, grab something to drink or something, and then about 10 minutes till the show starts. Our box office crew will start getting people in. If tickets get turned back in or anything like that, we want you to see the show. It's going to be a phenomenal show. So those are ways you can still get tickets to come see this show. And we have amazing guests. Cannot wait to talk to them about the show. But before I get to them, we want to remind you that Spamalot tickets, talking about tickets, Spamalot tickets for members, which we all should be members of our ALT season tickets. Those go on sale on a Monday. That's right, this coming Monday, April 15th. For the general public, that'll go on sale on the 22nd. So be sure to get, on that Spamalot calendar. The show's going to be a great show running May 2nd through the 19th. It'll close out our 96th season, which is really, really exciting. So you're not going to want to miss that hilarious show. So already start planning when you need tickets and how you're going to get them. And speaking of Spamalot, we do have a Spamalot work call this coming weekend. It's going to be the start of many, many work calls to get this show up and ready. We need A-team builders, which if you're like, what's an A-team builder? It's basically not a Jason Crespin. If you know how to build things with your hands, where people could actually like lean on them and stand on them and people won't be afraid, come. If you know how to use the drills and the other drill cousins of tools, come. Come use the tools and all the things. If you go to Home Depot to actually shop and not with a list going up to a person saying, I need this, what they wrote down to pick up, then you're great for the 18. Come help us. Come help us build these amazing sets. If you are like me though, and you can paint, we need about 5 to 6 painters. We're going to start painting on some drops for the show. David Walsh is coming in tomorrow to start working on our get everything ready for work call and for the show. So if you can come help us out, come on, we'll feed you. Let Lissa know. Of course, email Lissa, our amazing volunteer coordinator. There's her email right there, lissa@amarillo.littletheater.org. Let her know about by tomorrow so we can get a head count for lunch. We love to feed all of our volunteers, so let us know for sure. Oh, this just in. Teddy Cat says, I'm a mystery. Ooh, I love a good mystery. Teddy Cat, write this into a play, and ALT will do it in a January time slot in a future season, because that's when we like to do plays over at ALT. Gabe says, cousins of tools. You know, that's what it is. They're all just cousins. They're related somehow. I don't know how. They help each other out. That's what my cousins help me out. So, yeah, they're all related. Teddy Cat says, y'all need to make more TikToks about y'all's plays. You know what? The TikToks, agreed. True. And one of our guests, I can't wait to talk to one of our guests today about her TikTok because she's got some good content on that TikTok, reviewing some Taylor Swift albums, talking about her housekeeper. Whew, that blew up like crazy. So we'll find out a little bit more. Teddy Cat, do you have a TikTok? Yeah, I'm intrigued by Teddy Cat. I'm sure Annika knows who it is, and I just don't know. So I'm excited to find out. Okay, y'all, it's time for I love this section of the show. Annika's created this volunteer of the week. Very excited. Let's play the video. Okay, sorry, I was dancing. Our volunteer of the week is a pretty special volunteer. You've heard of this person's last name quite often at the theater. They've helped out a lot this past couple of weeks. Our volunteer of the week, are you ready for this? Aaron Huckabee! It's Aaron Huckabee. He was chosen for ALT's volunteer of the week because one, he's the production assistant right now for Sense and Sensibility, working tirelessly to get that show up. He came in on Saturday, helped Noah Noah's setting lights, and he helped Noah with that, set lights at the light board. He wrote cues in the book. It was a huge help to Noah, which is great. Aaron, in fact, is running the light board for Sense and Sensibility. Of course, Aaron is the son of Carrie and Nolan. Carrie Huckabee, of course, is directing Sense and Sensibility. Basically, Aaron has grown up at the Little Theater. Him and his brother were in my musical theater class many, many years ago. They've done so many different acting classes. So we're so grateful for Aaron and his time and energy he's dedicated to the theater and especially to this show to make it a huge success. So if you see Aaron, tell him congrats. You'll have to look up because he's tall. He's really tall. I think he's the tallest in his family is what I've read recently. So good job. Good job for growing, Aaron. Well done. Congrats. And then real quick, Annika has some Broadway breaking news. I just wanted to do like a Fosse number with that little song. It's a nice. Okay, real quick. I know she's been updating you about how Broadway World, they're trying to figure out what the best musical is. All that whole March Madness type of brackets and whatnot. And I guess it is down to the final two, and it is up against two juggernauts, of course, Les Mis and Hamilton. Whew! It's like old school versus new school. It's like if you were born in the 1900s and if you were born in the 2000s, basically. I'm trying to think what I would vote for. Actually, I know what I would vote for, but I'm not gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you guys pick your own. So if you want to go, head on over to BroadwayWorld.com where you can cast your vote between Les Mis and Hamilton. I want to see a mashup of those two, like Alexander Hamilton stole some bread or something. Carrie, can you write that for the Academy for some future season? I think that'd be great. It'd be awesome. The Schuyler sisters maybe are also working the corner or something. Who knows? You know, they're lovely ladies of some sort. Also, this just in, or not this just in, but this was this past week, which was crazy, that New York City had an earthquake, a 4.8 magnitude earthquake. And the funny thing about it is how, I guess this was 10:23 a.m. on April 5th. It was sending shockwaves throughout the metropolitan area. Some Broadway shows had some pretty hilarious responses to it, and Annika wanted me to share. Over at Monty Python's Spamla on Broadway, they said, yes, the earthquake was caused by Leslie Kritzer singing the wicked riff in Find Your Grail. We'd like to sincerely apologize. I love that. Hilarious. She plays the diva, of course, Lady of the Lake. Over at Lempica, they said that earthquake was actually an aftershock from Eden Espinosa's Opt Up in Woman Is last night. Love it. And Suffs, the musical, which is a new musical, says the earthquake was caused by Emily Skinner being back on Broadway, by the way. I love it. I love that. So hilarious. So great marketing. Whoever's doing those marketing, well done. Well done. We're talking about it in Amarillo, Texas, so that's got to be really good, right? And then finally, Annika wanted me to let you know that there is a new musical, that new musical that I just mentioned called Lempica. It's going to release a Broadway cast recording next month. If you don't know anything about this show, which not many people do, she wanted me to let you know a little bit about it. It's led there by Eden Espinosa, who's a fantastic, brilliant Broadway performer who has been off Broadway for a couple years. It's exciting to have her back. Lempica celebrates the gripping true story of renowned artist Tamara de Lempica, spanning decades of political and personal turmoil and told through a thrilling pop-infused score. Lempica boldly explores the contradictions of a world in a crisis, a woman ahead of her era, an artist whose time has finally come. Sounds like maybe an adventure space musical in 2040. When we might be able to get those rights at some point. Who knows, right? So anyway, that's what's going on over in the good old Broadway. Oh, Terry Cat 1 says that they do have a TikTok. Also, this just in, they've come up with the Sandwich Sisters, of course, the bread version of that Les Mis and Hamilton mashup. Terry Stringer. This is news, breaking news. Terry and Terry Stringer, they were on the 25th floor of their hotel when the earthquake happened. Ooh, an eyewitness report. Thankfully, we didn't feel it or I would not have been okay. I did get the I Survived the Earthquake t-shirt. Love that. I forgot that you guys were in New York. So firsthand eyewitness experience there. Thank you, the Stringers. Love that. All right, enough about all of that stuff. Let's get to the good meat of why you guys are tuning in. You want to hear more about the great show Sense and Sensibility. We have three fantastic guests. You heard it here. We have the one, the only director herself, Miss Carrie Huckabee. Hello, Carrie.
Hi.
Carrie, Aaron's Volunteer of the Week.
I've never been more proud. I mean, that's the pinnacle.
Right?
You can only go down from here. So.
And until that, I knew it, but when I saw that photo, I'm gonna bring this photo back up one more time. I kind of forget. Like, can we trip and fall in those dimples? Like, when did this happen? I forgot.
He's a cutie. Dimples. Girls, he's single.
Oh, Thursdays at 3. Are we gonna play matchmaker? I love this. His mom. If I'm just saying, you would have a fantastic mother-in-law, y'all. So
I would really try hard.
Yeah, 100%. And joining us today, also two amazing actors. One has grown up in the academy. One has been a volunteer in every capacity, I think, at ALT. We're bringing back in Sterling Knight and good old Jeffrey Pickens. Hello, my friends.
Hey.
How are y'all both doing today?
I'm good. Chilling.
Chilling. Are you also chilling, Jeffrey?
Can Jeffrey hear us?
I think Jeffrey is Jeffrey on a slight delay, maybe? Can he see us? Jeffrey, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Blink twice if you're okay.
Are you in need of help, Jeffrey?
If you're talking to me, the sound is, I can't understand a word anybody's saying.
Oh, no!
Except Carrie and Sterling. That would just be you, Jason.
Just me. Well,
I think my connection's bad.
Let me pull you out and we'll retry it.
Let me go out and
Okay.
We both had the same thought. I love it. I love it. Carrie, it's preview night, which technically is our first night of the show. It's so exciting. The theater is abuzz. We're getting all the last minute things ready in the lobby, and headshots are going up, and programs are coming in, all that good stuff. How are you feeling with it being preview performance of Sense and Sensibility, the show that you've directed for us?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. That's one of our music cues in the show. So I'm feeling good. The actors in this show are phenomenal. The actors have been ready for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So really they're just being super, super patient with the rest of us for all of the tech to come together. So
Sure.
I feel good. I feel good. It's going to be an entertaining show.
Yay. Yes. I cannot wait. That's awesome. Sterling, real quick. Jeffrey, can you hear me?
Yes, it's better.
Yes. Fantastic. Awesome. How are you, Jeffrey and Sterling? How are you feeling today with knowing that your performances start tonight?
Tired.
Hey, take a nap, Jeffrey. I need you sharp tonight.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, like, I was walking through the halls this morning and one of my professors was like, "Hey, good luck tonight," or something like that. And I was like, "What's tonight?" And it's in my brain. It is, but it's just like, it's come up so fast, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm ready. I'm prepared.
I love that. Jamie Laird says, we went to the Jane Austen Center on Bath today. I don't know what on Bath today means. But she said, oh, maybe in Bath. Oh, yeah, probably, I bet in Bath. Yes. Can't wait to watch it when we get back. Oh, that's so cool, Jamie. That's awesome. Jenny Roller or Jenny Stennis says, gives us a good old heart. We love you. But she says in Bath. Gotcha. Yeah, that's so cool, Jamie. Thanks for letting us know. I love that. I want to ask first, Carrie, when were you first introduced to Jane Austen and Sense and Sensibility? I know you've been a big fan of Jane Austen for several years, but when do you remember when you first, heard of her and these stories?
I think the first introduction I had to Jane Austen was probably my mother reading the books.
Oh, okay.
And they're hefty. So I probably didn't read the first one until I was in high school. But what really got me hooked was the Pride and Prejudice, the BBC Pride and Prejudice adaptation with Colin Firth in it as Mr. Darcy. Holy cow. One of my favorite things ever in the world. So that's when I really, really got interested in Jane Austen, and then started reading more of her works, even the lesser known works.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're just well written. The characters are very compelling. And you can identify with them, even if the situations are not exactly the same, because women do not have the same lives in the Jane Austen world than they do in 2024. We have come a long way, baby. But you can still identify with the feelings and the how they are intrinsically. So.
Yeah, I love that. Jeffrey, what about you? When were you first introduced to either Jane Austen or the story of Sense and Sensibility?
Actually, I knew about it, but when I retired and then we went into COVID, I decided I was going to read all of her books.
Wow.
And so we had a couple of them, and a friend of mine had all the rest of them. So she just loaned them to me. And I read all of them over about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And the thing that, of course, Bonnie's like a Jane Austen complete nerd. Bonnie, my wife. And so the thing that struck me about it is that she was so young when she wrote this. She was like Sterling's age and even younger.
Wow.
When she wrote all this stuff. And I was just astounded at that. But yeah, I've read all of them, and I've read this one twice. I read it again when it was announced last year. So I read it again last summer in preparation to just because they all kind of start blurring together after a while. But
sure.
I like all of them, but Sense and Sensibility is my second favorite of it. My favorite is Emma because she's so saucy. But,
yes. And Clueless was the adaptation of Emma.
Favorite is
so if you've seen Clueless, basically the same story.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I think, is so
Yeah.
brilliant when people are like clueless, and it's like, well, read Emma, you'll love it. Yep, I love that. Sterling, what about
Yeah,
you?
I
When
know.
did you first
Yeah.
get to know about Jane Austen and or this book?
About 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't read any of Jane Austen's books. I thought about reading Sense and Sensibility after I got cast, but I decided against it because I decided that I just wanted to use what was in the script instead of
Sure.
what was in the book. It's more fun for me that I really like Pride and Prejudice, the movie with Keira Knightley. I love that movie. Like, people who haven't seen that, that's crazy. You need to fix your life. You're doing something wrong. And I also just I really like Bridgerton, and this is like kind of the same.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very much like the same era and stuff like that. So
Well, it's like every generation has their own version of
yeah,
this time period of what drew them in some form or fashion in the media. We should say, Sterling, remind us, who do you play in the show?
I play Marianne Dashwood.
You're the sensibility, or the sensibility of
Sensibility.
sensibility. Yep.
Yes.
And then Jeffrey, remind us, who do you play in the show?
I play Sir John Middleton, who's the one who owns the cottage that they move into. So he's their benefactor.
Sir John is a big character.
Benefactor.
Yeah.
Big character.
And so fun. I got to watch rehearsal the other day, and oh my gosh, some of the scenes just had me cracking up because I just get so excited because I know what's happening, or I know what how some of these characters would have been hilarious on social media had social media been back in the day.
Oh my gosh. If Mrs. Jennings had a social media,
I
Lord.
mean, exactly. Which Carrie, can you let us know? So people who know this, of course, book, or know these movies and things like that, what are they going to expect with this version? Kate Hamill wrote this version, especially with the gossips, if you will, because I think that's such a cool theatrical aspect that you've done a brilliant job with in the show.
So much about Jane Austen's books are people talking about other people, right? They're just basically commenting on their actions or their dress or behavior. And so Kate Hamill wrote a Greek chorus, sort of gossips into this play that comment on the action while it's going on. And they are hysterical. Oh, they're so funny. They've got so much energy, and I kind of let them just go. And I was like, I will. And I said, I'll reel you back if it's too much. And I have had to do that. I've had to say, okay, that's no, we're going to come back from that. But they are brilliant and so funny.
Oh, I think I told you how I was like, I wish I could audition just to be a gossip in this show, because I love the gossips. I love that whole concept for this show and how it's told. And it's an interesting, you came up with this great concept for the set, Carrie, without giving too much away. Tell us really what people are going to expect when they come into the adventure space, because a lot of people are confused. They're like, why is it at the adventure space? Is there nudity?
Oh, we're doing it in the nude. Didn't we tell you? No, we're not. We're not doing it. There's no bad language. It is G. It is G-rated. Sense and Sensibility is. It's fine. But the reason that I think we wanted to do it at the adventure space is the intimacy of the performance. You can see every expression on Sterling and Kendall's face as Marianne and Eleanor Dashwood. They are phenomenal in these roles. You get to see Jeff as Sir John and Jerry Tidmore as Mrs. Jennings, and to feel like you are in the room with them, like be scared a little bit that Mrs. Jennings is going to get a hold of you. Now I've forgot. Oh, the set. The set is freestanding. It's fluid. It comes and it goes, and sometimes we're lifted with a bare stage, and other times we've got a dining room. So it's very impressionistic, I would say. We don't have a set that is on stage the whole time. So it adapts to what we need it to be.
Yeah. And it's so well done. I mean, the the choreography of the scene changes and the way that you've instrumented actors into the scenes, sometimes portraying not human people and things like that. I think it's just perfect. And it's an interesting way. And I'll tell you this right now, y'all. I don't want to give it away, but just be prepared. Pay very close attention to what you hear in the scene changes. That's all I'm going to say, because I just want Carrie was brilliant with coming up with that concept and that sound design for the scene changes.
I had a lot of fun.
I was looking forward to every time a scene change was occurring. Could not wait, anticipation of what the next thing I was going to hear, and then when I would figure it out and understand why you chose that thing to listen to, I would lost it. It was brilliant. It was so good. It's so good.
Thank you.
I think it's the first time in a show where I'm like, ooh, I also can't wait for a scene change.
Well,
the acting is phenomenal. The scenes are great. And then I'm like, I don't have a little break where I'm like, okay, let me think. I'm like still in the moment. I love it. It's awesome. Jeffrey and Sterling, both a question for you. Jeffrey, you've worked as Carrie, under Carrie, of course, last season in These Shining Lives. How is it again working with her this time over at the Adventure Space?
It's really well, I love working with Carrie because she's my friend, for one thing, and I like her because I know her so well. It's very easy for me to take direction from her because I know she has my best interests at heart.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm not worried about, and I'm at the age now where I don't care. I don't have an ego anymore, and that'll be obvious in this show. But I really think she and Kate Hamill, who wrote it, the genius of this script is that, having read all of Jane Austen, they're really very humorous books. They just don't seem humorous to us at this stage, at this here in the 21st century. But for those people then, because there's this underlying British humor about gossiping and all this society that he pokes fun at, they were probably cracking up the whole time they were reading those books, and we're all going, wow, this is hard to read. But it's all there. And Hamill just bloated that in this script and made it more modern in that way. And then Carrie just added so much to it. But she's just a brilliant director. I would work with her again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, and I can comment, Carrie is a genius. Like, she's so smart when it comes to not only acting, not only directing, but you're a playwright, Carrie. So you understand fully, even I feel like, more the depths of, oh, this is what this scene, or maybe Kate Hamill was hoping when she wrote it this way. So I feel like you're the perfect person to direct that style, because, and also a female voice. This show needed a female voice to really, I think, understand fully what needed to be portrayed onto the stage. And so it was a no-brainer. Of course, Carrie Huckabee, come on.
We've had a lot of good conversations about why this character would do this and what am I supposed to be feeling in this moment. And I've had to explain to some of the guys, especially the younger guys, like you can't just there are manners that have to be. You have to bow when you greet someone. You have to bow when you leave, and it's a whole hierarchy of. I don't know that I would have made it back then. Would you have made it back in Jane Austen's day?
Sterling, would you have made it?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like it depends. Like I don't know.
She looks really good in the dress.
Yeah, I feel like the aesthetic, I could totally do the aesthetic and like all that stuff. But then like the actual like logistics of it, I don't think so.
I actually think I would have done fine, but I would have had a smirk on my face the whole time.
Oh, I'm sure. 100%. Renee Brain says, "Yay, Sterling! Looking forward to seeing this. Y'all are awesome." Oh, we love you, Renee. We love you so
No,
much.
sweet Renee.
Sterling, this is your first time to be directed by Carrie, correct? I know, of course, you've taken instruction from her in classes. Of course, you were in a production that Carrie wrote, which was, of course, 10,000 Problems of a Teenage Girl. But this is your first time to be under her as a director. How has that process been for you, Sterling?
I was really nervous going in, not because of Carrie or anything, but just because like I wanted so badly to impress, and not only her, but like everyone, I guess. Like, I don't know. I really wanted to prove myself as a performer now that like this is like the first like serious thing that I've done since I've gotten into college. And so I was really nervous going in, and I think that Carrie really has helped me like it made it feel a safe place for me to explore the harder and more personal aspects of Marianne, that because I mean she goes through a lot, and truthfully it's exhausting like how much she goes through every night. But I think that I never felt like judged or anything like that when it came to the scenes that I was really, really nervous about, which was super great and super helpful to my character development. So,
Well, having a safe space, I mean, where you can really take risks, because you're right, your character has the mountains of the highs and the valleys of the lows. I mean, definitely a roller coaster of emotion for sure. And so having that safe space is really important. And yep, I definitely believe that Carrie provided that for you guys for sure. Earlier, we should mention that you guys were over at the Golden Rose Tea Room, where we did a great little cross promotion with them. I do have just a couple of those photos. Look at Sterling there, just awesome.
That is beautiful.
Right? They need to put that on a billboard, advertise for that show. Of course, your counterpart there of Kendall, doing an amazing job as well. I believe she'll hopefully be on next week on Thursdays at 3 with Annika. And they have a cool back room. That back room was really cool. If you've never been to the Golden,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole space was fantastic. But one of our newcomers there, Hunter, playing Willoughby, cannot wait for his debut tonight at the theater. Let's talk about the cast real quick, Carrie, because you do have some new people, some people who have been a part of ALT for quite some time. Remind me, how many again are in the cast?
That is a 20.
I think it's either 19
They
or 20.
swarm on me, so it seems like more.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
20 or 21. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But you have some newcomers, of course. You have some people, Jerry Tidmore, Justin Lowe, Joanna Kimball, some people who have been here quite some time, some veterans. How has it been leading this cast?
They have been delightful from day one. If you've ever taken my class, you know I do a question of the day. And I think the question of the day that I did with the cast every at the start of every rehearsal kind of helped us get to know each other a little bit better, our likes and dislikes. They're just little silly questions that don't really mean anything unless you're trying to get to know somebody. And I wanted the cast to get along and because there's so many different ages in this as well. There's Jeffrey and I who represent up here, and then we've got a lot of younger. Our youngest is just turned 11
20 years
yesterday.
older than you are.
You're not that much older. But our little Alexis just turned 11.
Oh yeah,
I know.
So she's such a cutie.
I love that.
Playing little Margaret Dashwood.
I mean, and she does great. Oh my gosh, there was one part where I was like, "Well, did Jane Austen literally come into the future and write exactly what Alexis would say in a situation like that?" It was perfect. And I echo Jeffrey what you say. There is so much humor in this show. I mean, from you and Jerry, Joanna Kimball. Whew, I was like, oh my gosh, there's some things I was like, wow.
She kills it.
The
Joanna plays Fanny Dashwood, who is arguably one of the most evil characters in all of literature, except for who did Imelda Staunton play in the Harry Potter series? Oh, that
Voldemort?
I'm sorry?
Voldemort?
No.
I think Fanny's worse.
Do you?
Yeah, she
Oh.
just has no regard for anyone but herself.
She's awful, manipulative,
She is.
hateful, rude.
Yep.
But Joanna does it with such style and flair, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't mean anything by that."
Exactly.
Right.
She's the true Regina George of the Mean Girls from back in then, I think.
Really is.
And then you have people like Elizabeth Hopkins, which a lot of people may not know her. I mean, she was in Shrek in the ensemble, playing, some various roles, and had me in Stitches the other night at the end of Act One. She made a choice, and I couldn't stop laughing. Couldn't stop laughing. It was brilliant. So there's so much great humor, of course, so much great emotion. Sterling, I was so impressed with I let Carrie know how great you are in this show with the dynamics. You have such great dynamics, and I think you hit them perfectly. I cannot wait for people to see you in this show. People might be like, how do we know Sterling? Of course, you know her in the Academy. She grew up in the Academy. I won't tell you my favorite Academy story about her when she was 5 years old in a production. You'll have to donate money to the theater to hear that story. But one of my favorite roles, of course, she was Princess Anna in our production of Frozen. And I feel like, Sterling, that's kind of the first time that you got like the first kind of leading lady, shoes that you're like, okay, this is how we're doing this. Okay. So when I saw your name on this list, I don't know why you were nervous, because I knew exactly that you were going to be well prepared, in great hands, and help lead this cast. And it's a beautiful show, Carrie. I cannot wait for people to see the show tonight. It's funny that it's sold out, because I want to tell people to come buy tickets, but they already did, which is great.
I wish there were more.
This just in, our helpful roving reporter Justin Lowe, Dolores
Umbridge. Oh, she was horrible.
Oh,
but Fanny Dashwood might be worse.
I want Broadway World to do that voting bracket of who voting the worst. And also, I love this. Justin says Carrie has been the best leader. I believe it. I love it. Carrie, for people who are coming to see the show, should they be does it lean closer to the book? Does it lean closer to the movie? Or do you think it just is its own piece?
I think is its own piece. It's with the addition of the chorus and everything. Yeah. I don't think, it follows the story faithfully. Everything, Willoughby and Edward and everything. So if you know the story, you won't be disappointed that she's done something weird with the story. Yeah. But it's definitely not like the movie at all.
Yeah.
So
and we have to shout out your amazing production team, of course. Nolan Huckabee, assistant to the director. Of course, Aaron, we already talked about, production assistant. And then Joni Norris, costume in the show. The costumes look
so pretty.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Everybody looks absolutely fantastic in the show.
Her attention to detail is amazing.
Yeah. Which is so important, especially in a production at the Adventure Space, for sure. And then, of course, the set is great. All of the elements that you've come up with, of course, Noah Lang and our tech team of Brandon Campumi and, of course, Michael Villarreal. Talking about people who are coming to the Adventure Space to see this show, and Jeffrey, Sterling, I'm going to ask you this. When people come see a show, Carrie had a handful of it was a huge number of people who auditioned for this show. We just announced next season, and people are, already starting to think, okay, shows next season I might want to audition for, and things like that. Sterling, you talking about somebody who grew up in the Academy and now, auditioning for the adult shows, if you will. Jeffrey, who came to us from another city and came into the theater. I know Cinderella was 2012? What year was that? No,
2008. Yeah, 2009.
2008. Thank you. I went 2 years off of 2010 the wrong way. Talk to me about how it is auditioning at the theater, and if somebody is watching thinking, man, I wish I could do it, what advice you would give them? Sterling, let's start with you, especially coming from WT and being a student there and a product of our Academy. What would you tell somebody who's interested in auditioning for a show at ALT?
I'm going to give the note that I get all the time. Be big. I am always not big enough. I just it takes practice to get your confidence up to a level to where you feel comfortable going into an audition and not just being like embarrassed that you're there, or like nervous, or overcoming those nerves and using them in a way that makes your performance better. That takes a lot of practice. So I would say I just keep doing it, I guess. I mean, like, practice makes practice. What is it? Practice makes progress. Practice makes progress.
I like that. I like that. What about you, Jeffrey? What advice would you give somebody who's thinking maybe they're on the fence about auditioning?
I would just say, for musicals in particular, that 60-second vocal audition will be the most terrifying 60 seconds of your life, and that has not changed in 15 years.
Yeah.
So, but then after that, just, it's community theater. Have fun. This is supposed to be fun.
Yes.
And so have fun. And if you are having fun, that will translate to the audience.
Yeah.
They will believe you. And,
Agreed.
sometimes you're not going to get a role, and that's okay too. Then volunteer and be on the crew, or
It happens to all of us that
Yeah.
we don't get cast.
yes,
But there's always another audition.
Yep.
always
Another opportunity to
It's just
help.
such a joyful place where everyone is supporting everyone, and that's a rare thing in this world.
Mhm. Very true. Very true. Well, we cannot wait to see you guys both shine on stage. Carrie, we cannot wait for your work to be birthed tonight on the stage. Like, it's so exciting. I always feel like directing a show is like, this like pregnancy that's like, okay, the due date, when the due date's happening, it's today. But
Being pregnant was
watching your
lots worse than directing this show. Let me just say. This show is delightful. Being pregnant is awful. So, I mean, I'm happy I have 2 boys, but not the same.
Yeah, no. No swollen ankles with this show, right? Yeah. Well, we
Only a
cannot wait.
wrenched
We're
one.
so excited. Right, yeah, yes. Gabe Sherman says, break legs, y'all. We're so excited. I'm telling you right now, you guys, get on the wait list, get on the standby list if you don't have tickets for this show. Come see this beautiful story being told in this intimate setting. Like Carrie said, there's no foul language. Nothing's going crazy. We wanted this show to be in this intimate space because we wanted it to have that intimate feeling. And this version of the script is perfect for that. You're going to come in, you're going to cry, you're going to laugh. I'm telling you, you're going to do a lot of laughing for sure. But the best thing is you're going to see a beautiful, beautiful production directed by our very own Carrie Huckabee. This just in, Jenny says, thank you for adding the matinee. Can't wait to see it. I do know that Jenny was one of those very happy people that matinee was added so she could get tickets. So yes. And so I'll see you guys in a little bit, of course, for Thursday's performance tonight. Of course, Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. Sunday, of course, we'll have our matinee and a great talk back after the matinee as well. So it's a full weekend of shows at ALT, which is very exciting. It's a great place to be. Jeffrey, Sterling, break a leg. Carrie, cannot wait to see again your work tonight. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And tune in next week. Annika will be back. She'll have more cast members talking about more about, of course, Sense and Sensibility. I do want to mention, if you do come see the show, your ticket stub or your little printout of your tickets, we'll let everyone know when they come see the show, but you can take those to the Golden Tea Room and get 15% off all services or products, anything like that. If you take your little ticket stub that you came and saw Sense and Sensibility, which is great.
They're only open Wednesday through Saturday, Sunday, and you need to make reservations.
Yes,
too.
great.
So you
Yes,
can't
make a
swap.
reservation.
My
Yes.
wife loves
And
that place.
It's high
Yeah.
tea. It's lovely. You should take Bonnie, Jeff. It's awesome.
She's been there a dozen times.
Oh, has she? Okay.
Well, and it's a
She probably
perfect.
took me.
I love that. Gather your friends before, make a reservation. Go to that before you go. Come see the show. Wear your fancy hats, your gloves. Dress up a little for the production. Why not, right? And I tell you, you're gonna get all that at this beautiful literary, just gorgeousness, and then completely opposite for Spamalot in May. We'll just throw out that window and we'll give you some fart jokes and it'll be great. We offer everything here at ALC, which is great. And then be on the lookout too. Our curtain call will of course come out this weekend in email format or in mail format as well. Again, announces our season. We've announced it, of course. It has all that information because you can now begin getting your season tickets for next season, which is crazy to think about. For our 97th season, look at all that information in the upcoming curtain call. Has tons of info. Yeah, good job, Carrie. Well done. Well done. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys, Carrie, Sterling, Jeffrey. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and break a leg tonight. And we'll see you at the theater. Bye, guys. Appreciate y'all so much.
Thanks, Jason. That was fun.